Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's 2,000 points, and we're back to a classic here. The grudge goes back a long, long way. It is Ultramarines versus the might of the Tau Empire. So, unique terrain here. The site of a crashed Aquila. Two armies will converge at this point to investigate the crash site. The Tau Empire have an interest to find out what's happened here, and so too the Ultramarines. So, grassland terrain here, rocky hillsides, conifer forests and trees across the board here, and then really the focal point is this crashed Aquila site. But it'll be on this terrain these two forces will do battle. Right, so welcome to this 2,000 points game of 8th edition Warhammer 40,000. It's Tau Empire versus James's mighty Ultramarines. So I'm going to lead the Tau here. Commander Pinpoint is in charge. He's been rearmed here. It is a 6 command point force here for the Tau. So Commander Pinpoint, number of upgrades for him. Triple fusion blaster. He has been equipped with multi-tracker, so re-rolling ones if he fires all of his weapons at the same target. It's taken 2 gun drones for him as well. And then with some remaining points, I have given him a shield generator as well, so he does get a 4+ invulnerable save. So quite durable and armed to the teeth. Then 2 more HQs. One is an Ethereal, no upgrades. And then a Fireblade with a Marker Light as well. Then 6 troops, 2 units of breachers here. One of them has a Marker Light. It's this one just here. The other unit doesn't, just a standard 6-man unit. Then here 4 6-man units of Tau strike teams here. Each of the leaders has a Marker Light for them. Then Crisis Battlesuits, quite an expensive unit. 3 of them in the unit there, each with a double fusion blaster and multi-trackers for them as well. Each of them has taken 2 drones, so in total that's 6 drones to protect them. Then 2 broadsides, again expensive units, but pretty good. They've done well in a number of the games. So smart missile systems for them. Then 2 high-yield missile pods, advanced targeting system upgrades, and then 2 gun drones. Both of those loadouts exactly the same. Then the Ghost Kill is in the force. So cyclic Iron Raker for him, 2 fusion blasters, and then advanced targeting system, a multi-tracker for him, and then 2 stealth drones as well. Then really the centerpiece of the army here, it is the KV-128 Storm Surge Titan Killer. it's pretty good. We'll see how well it does in this game against the Ultramarines. But the loadout for that is quite a lot. It's the cluster rocket system, then the 4 destroyer missiles, 2 flamers, 2 smart missile systems. The pulse driver cannon is the main gun. Then a shield generator as well, just to protect it. Advanced targeting system upgrade, and then velocity tracker as well. That's to go on patrol against units that can fly. So that is the Tau force. You can check out the army overview and tactica video. It's on the regular channel here, and that will be a complete army breakdown and the tactics and battle plan for this entire force. You can check that video out for these. If you like the colour scheme as well, the painting tutorial is available on the regular channel as well for this colour scheme here. And then I'll show you how to paint the Storm Surge. That's on the Plus channel. So that's the army. We'll take a look at the Ultramarines. We'll see what James has brought along. Right, so 2,000 points of Ultramarines. James says he has some new models and units here, so he's going to run through his force. We'll see what he has.
Right, this is 2,000 points of Ultramarines, and leading the force today is Cato Sicarus. His warlord trait is Adept to the Codex, which is basically I gain the command points back on a 5+.
Oh yes, okay.
So that's his unique warlord trait for the Ultramarines tactics. He's leading the force today. Second in command, we have a lieutenant, debut on the channel. He's equipped with a combi melter and a power sword.
Does he have a name?
Lucullus.
All right.
Lieutenant Lucullus is his name. And we have an
Just, we wanted to know his name so we can write the
Yes, that's fair
tombstone now. Sorry, carry on.
Right, then we have a apothecary, who is the medic for the first time on the channel.
Okay.
And I have an ancient with the company banner as well, debut as well for him. And starting off, we'll go over here. We have the fast attack, which is the assault marines. These are combat squads. So the sergeant's equipped with a combat shield, grav pistol, and a power sword, and a flamer with this squad. And this marine is equipped with a plasma pistol. The rest are equipped with bolt pistols and chainswords. And then for the heavy support choice, I have a Devastator squad. The sergeant is equipped with Signum, bolt gun and chainsword, and 4 las cannons and bolters to absorb any casualties. They are not in a combat squad, so that's one full squad of 10. But the tactical squads are combat squadded, so you have the sergeant is equipped with a chainsword and combi flamer, another flamer, and then another combat squad equipped with a heavy bolter. The rest are equipped with bolt guns. Dedicated transport is the Rhino, and the rest of the tactical squad marines are equipped exactly the same layout. And over here we have an ironclad dreadnought equipped with hurricane bolters. We have 2 hunter killer missiles that are paid for, also the fragmentation launchers. I have a heavy flamer, inbuilt heavy flamer underneath the chain fist, which is a really good weapon now in 8th edition. And then we have 2 Predator Destructors this time, with the Astartes auto cannon and Spons and las cannons for both of them. And also they've got storm bolters for the extra 2 points that I paid for. So that works out about 1997 points. That is the Ultramarines force. We march for MACRAGGE.
Right, so that's James's list here. There's a lot of the boys in blue here. There's loads of them. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. There's 50 Marines here. There's a lot. Plus vehicles, double Predator, Dreadnought, and decent HQ choices as well. So this is a decent force here, and that las cannon, Devastator team, freshly painted up. There'll be one to watch there. The Storm Surge. We'll need to be careful. We'll be glad we've taken that shield generator for sure. Then down here, Sicarius as well. So a decent HQ leading the force. But that's the army here for the Ultramarines. We'll check out scenario and deployment next. Right, so the scenario is big guns never tire, and it is spearhead assault deployment. So centre of the table just there, 9 inches back is the tip of the spear. This is Ultramarine deployment. James chose this end and this deployment map, so that's where the Ultramarines will be deploying. It makes sense there that they've arrived and semi-secured the Aquila crash site just there. Then around here, this is where the tower will be deploying, the tip of their spearhead just there on top of the hill. So there's 4 objectives in this game. One of them, these were placed before we knew the map, one of them is just down here in the woods, one's on top of the hill just here, one's in the open ground just there, and then we had to put one here. It's right in the centre of the crash site. So the scenario, big guns never tire. Each objective is worth 3 points. As at the point of playing this game, the Tau don't have their new codex yet, so no objective secured for them, but James does have that. So his troops are more valuable in this game. If he just has 1 troop model within 3 inches of one of the objectives, no matter how many Tau models are there, he will count as holding it. So a big advantage for his troops' choices in this game at this point, whilst the Tau await their new codex. Points available for Linebreaker, Slay the Warlord, and First Blood, and also a victory point for each heavy support destroyed as well. That's the broadsides for the Tau. If they're destroyed, then there'll be points for them. And I reckon they're drones as well. Separate units they count as, and they count as heavy support. They match the unit type that they belong to. So some points available there, perhaps some easy kills that the Ultramarines could pick up. James heavy supports the 2 Predators, I take it, and the Devastators as well. So there's 3 points available for the Tau to pick up as well. A lot of stuff there for the Ultramarines. The Tau, I think, will need to go for virtually total destruction of the Ultramarines if they're going to try and win. James has a lot of units, though, so it's going to be a difficult task. We'll start alternating with deployment, putting some models on the table next. Right, just to mention the battle mat that we're using, it's by gamemat.eu. It's called Highlands in War, so you can check them out. So battle mats here, they're 6x4, they're perfect for games of Warhammer 40,000. So it's a mat material here, and then another material on top, and the design's printed on there. Just lay the mat out, then we put some stones, some terrain, some trees, and it all blends in really nice. And then it's nice and quiet for rolling dice. And nice for miniatures as well. If they fall over, they don't get chipped and so on. So they're really good. You can check them out. It's gamemat.eu for the battle mats and terrain accessories as well. Alright, so deployment done here. Ultramarines setting out, spreading across their spearhead here. This sort of triangular shape. So remember the objective's just there. One tactical squad here. James finished deploying first, by the way, so with the new rules for the roll-off, it will be +1 to him. We'll roll off against each other to see who goes first. Then another rhino just here. So your tactical squads all armed the same, is it right?
Exactly the same.
Right, okay, makes things straightforward. Another one just here. So remember, inside each of these transports, there's 10 Marines for the Tau to try and deal with. Tucked just behind there is the Ironclad Dreadnought. Apothecary available. Sicarius just there. The Chapter Ancient. And then the Lieutenant as well is just here with his correctly painted helmet. Yeah, James very focused on the fluff here for his army. And then the Predator Destructor just there. Another Predator Destructor. And then the Devastators anchoring in the woods just here. So decent firepower here. Nice size of a force here for the Ultramarines. So looking pretty good for them. Then for the Tau, an Infiltrator is here, the Ghost Kill. We're deploying aggressively with the Tau here. We're not going to hold back. I think we're going to go after the Ultramarines in this game. Then Fire Warriors deploying in mass here. The units just there. Breachers just on the left and on the right here in the woods. The two broadsides, and then the Fireblade and the Ethereal just in amongst their troops there, no doubt giving great speeches of encouragement about the greater good to their comrades. And then here the Storm Surge as well, which no doubt will attract a fair bit of attention from James's heavy weapons. So this is it. Deployment is done. Quite tense here, really, because the roll-off is going to be very, very important in this game. So I shall pick a dice and roll it. Now, it's available for re-rolls here. 6 command points, by the way, for the Tau. And James has 6. Yes, you get to re-roll. I knew you were going to remind us about your re-rolls. He's very proud of that new rule. So we'll start with a good roll. A 1. I shall use a command point, I'm afraid. So here we go. A 1. James goes first. He doesn't even need to roll. He'll save his dice rolls for later in the game. But Tau, a disaster occurred here for them. They have failed to start very well at all. Commander Pinpoint is off the board. Maybe we'll cover reserves as well, actually. So Commander Pinpoint here, Manta Strike for him, along with the Crisis Battlesuits as well. So that's an option that the Tau can call upon. They'll probably need him quite soon. Ultramarines are going to get to go first here. We'll just cover James's reserves as well as we swing around, coming up here. So combat squads for these coming down separately for the Assault Marines, and then here these are all combat squads that's been declared before they went into their Rhino transports. Command trait, we've covered that for Sicarius. Know what that is? It's the 5+ to get command points back. Yep, and then Tenacious Survivor for Commander Pinpoint. On 6s, he'll ignore wounds that come through against him, just improving his durability a little bit. So there it is. We'll go on to the first turn. Ultramarines will make the first move here. It's a good start from them. We'll see what impression they can make as turn 1 begins. Right, so James on the move here is just deciding what to do about the ghost kill. Bit of a distracting unit there. Got aggressive with it, could have deployed it back here. Maybe a mistake. We'll see how well James can deal with it. The idea is maybe that he'll be distracted by enough to let the Tau gun line move up to lay down a blanket of firepower, not be disrupted too much by Ultramarine firepower. We'll see what he decides to do. I think he's marking out deployment of tactical squads here, so he's looking to engage early. Interesting.
Gotta be aggressive.
He's got to be aggressive, he says. This is going to be a fascinating game, this one. So, yeah, the idea was, do we hang back with the tower? Got a number of weapons here that do need to get within some kind of medium range. So we're going to look to see if we can engage the Ultramarines early on. Want to try and remove as much of their strength as possible, I think would be wise. But James is committing here to try and take on the ghost kill early on in the game. I would say that both sides have decent firepower, long range, medium range and short range. Remember, James has assault range to come down, but the tower definitely have a stronger deep striking element to arrive with the crisis battle suits and the commander as well. So the Ultramarines will need to be wary of that potential attack as well. But we'll let James continue on with his move. As I said earlier on, this game, this lineup does go back a long way. When I got back into 40k, it was Tau that I started to collect, and then James has been collecting Ultramarines for probably a few thousand years now. So 2000, right? Okay, yeah, it's about 2005, so it's been quite a while, and we've had epic battles ever since. But let James move. He's moving his new lieutenant here, painted up quite safe. He looks at the moment. Sicarius shuffling along as well. So we'll let him make the rest of his move here on his turn one. Right, so movement has been finished here for the Ultramarines. James expanding out here and on the move. So not disembarking here, rolling a 6 for movement or for advancing, and then smoke launchers activated with that Rhino. This one advancing here, and smoke launchers activated there. Dreadnought moving up. The command elements of James's force moving across here to support this tactical squad, or these two combat squads that are moving out towards the ghost kill. So James is going to play aggressive against that. Devastators holding position, Predators holding position as well, yes, because they're heavy weapons, aren't they? So they'll need to remain stationary to fire at their regular ballistic skill. But that is it. Assault Marines have not turned up this turn. They'll not be arriving on turn 1. So no psychers for either side. We'll go straight into shooting on turn 1. Okay, so in the middle of shooting phase here, we've resolved some. These squads have fired, flamer hits coming through, then bolters coming through, heavy bolter firing, and then regular bolters. In total, 1 wound caused here directly on the ghost kill. Had to use a command point on one of the saves to reroll. Didn't have to, but wanted to reroll one of the saves and passed. So another command point used up there for the tower, but it's kept the ghost kill on 9 wounds remaining. So not too bad so far. James still has all of his heavy firepower still to fire. So Dreadnought, 2 hunter killer missiles going after the Storm Surge. Right, okay, so 4s to hit then if you moved. 1 hit.
Reroll the 1 because of the captain.
Right, okay, yes, very good. Gets the hit. These abilities to the rerolls here has worked out well a number of times here. It doesn't sound very much rerolling 1s, but when you've got a lot of units nearby, it does start to pay for itself. So good tactics here. So yeah, I mean, just check there. It is range 6, so that is a good result. There's 2 hits have come through. It is strength 8, so James will be on freeze to wound. Double 1. We're plagued by 1s here in this game at the moment, so some strange dice rolls taking place, but both of those missiles have been used up. They have failed to do any damage here against the Storm Surge. Yeah, and just as I said that, it's handy to reroll 1s. We've just checked the range by a fraction of an inch. The Lieutenant is within range of the Dreadnought, so James gets to reroll those 2 1s. Does get a wound come through. Alright, so we're going to roll up an invuln save here of 4+, which we do pass on the Storm Surge. I'm glad we took that upgrade. Alright, so very good. Alright, so we've resolved the Hurricane Bolters. They fired across here and killed one of the drones. James trying to pick on them. They do count as a separate unit now. So, Devastators. Laser Cannons will fire the Ghost Kill, and then the Bolters will fire first at the drone. So important role here really for the bolters. James wants to fire first of all. So re-rolling ones here with his beloved captain and lieutenant in amongst them. So he's going to re-roll that one. That is really coming in handy, the upgrade. He gets 3 hits. Yeah, it's forced to hit. Yep. Forced to wound. Remember, he's trying to take out just one drone here. We've got 2 saves to make a 4+. I think the drone is a goner. No, and no reroll available. So drone gone. That's stealthy technology removed. So just the lone ghost skill battlesuit left. We reckon a victory point here. First blood. It's a separate unit, so James picks up that point. So 4 laser cannons. Going to roll one of them first. So this one has the signum. So that will be. It would be at 2s to hit, but it's -1 for the suit. So 3s to hit. Rerolling 1s.
Cock die?
Yeah, it's cock dice. 6 is a nice hit. You can roll up the other 3. They need 4s. Rerolling 1s. Oh, missed. Alright, so 2 come through. Could have been a lot worse. Then.
Strength 9, AP minus.
So 3s to wound. They both wound. Trouble here for the. Well, big trouble actually, because we don't even have an invuln save. Oh dear. Yeah, trouble here. Need 6s to save. Come on, Tau. There'll be a cheer from the Tau gun line if any 6s are rolled here. Oh, there's a 6. Rerolling 1s because of... No, I don't get anything. Right, go on in. So D6 damage. That could have been worse. 2D6 would have been devastating. He rolls a 2. Reroll. Oh, he's using his first command point here. Rolls a 1. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But hard not to. What's he doing?
5+ I regain it because of the water trait.
Oh, right, okay, he wants to try and regain it and fails. Okay, so James re-rolls his 2 and gets a 1. I'm sorry I had to let out a laughter there. Right, so that drops to an 8. So frustrating here trying to get rid of this ghost kill. It has proved a distraction. That's exactly the reasoning for taking the unit. And it's distracting the Ultramarines here. And they're not paying much attention to an advancing Tau gun line. Alright, so infuriated now, James will divert his attention towards the Tau gun line, more specifically the Storm Surge. So Predator Destructor here is going to fire. Stormbolter first of all, James is going to fire across here at the ghost kill. Does get the hit. 5s for a wound. No. Alright, so 2 laser cannons.
Yep. 3s to hit.
3s to hit, remain stationary, yep.
1 hit.
1 hit comes through. And he'll be on 3s to wound, so toughness 7. It does wound, so we'll turn to our 4+ invuln.
Oh!
Which pass. 40 points well spent there. And you know, for the Tau, you know that the ghost, you know that the Storm Surge is going to be targeted. It's worth taking the invuln save for sure. It's worked out here a couple of times. So
the Predator autocannon.
Yes, 2d3 shots. It's an interesting weapon. Well done, 6 shots. Nice. James likes the weapon. Here, usually goes for the Annihilator. Very good.
Statistical.
Strength 7.
Strength 7, AP -1, 3 damage.
Ouch! 4s to wound. Not bad at all. 3 saves required here. What's the AP minus?
-1.
-1. Alright, so we drop to a 4+ save. We do need to pass these. Oh, there's terrible trouble and no rerolls. 9 wounds come through. I can see why James took that weapon. Excellent result. So, good result there, James. Very good indeed. 9 wounds knocked down. 11 remain on the Storm Surge. James will try and continue on the good run here from these Predators, who may well be targeted by somebody soon. We'll see. But we'll let him fire up with those. But we'll let him fire with this one here. So 2 laser cannons. 3s to hit. It was good keeping them stationary. 1 has missed. 3s to wound. 2 failed. Right, so it's down to the Predator autocannon now. 2d3 shots. Surely not as good as last time.
That's a 1.
You know, 1 and okay, 4 shots. 3s to hit. It's good. Yeah, not bad at all. 4s to wound, just the 1. 4 up save was another 3 damage. No, yeah, it is -1, isn't it? So yeah, that's damage coming through. Ouch. So we're going to knock that down now to 8 wounds remaining. Some serious damage coming through here against the Storm Surge. That is not good. the Tau will need to deal with James's heavy firepower because one more round and the Storm Surge could come crashing down. That's about a quarter of the Tau points used up there. But good going there from the Predators. Excellent supporting fire from them. All right, so shooting finish. I reckon there's no more left here. It's been pretty good from the Ultramarines. Well, disappointing, we reckon, down here against the Ghost Kill, but very, very impressive from the Predators. They have been excellent here against the Storm Surge, which has been knocked down a level now as well, so it will be -1 on its ballistic skill. So significant damage coming through there. Some charges to declare. We'll resolve those and Overwatch next. Right, so charges taking place here. Rhino went in first. We tried to Overwatch and no damage done. Combat squad just about made it into combat as well. So James trying to lock him down. I reckon, well, are you aware that we can just pull away and shoot?
I know, but I want to do as much damage as possible.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough. No, that's fine. All right, so we'll resolve these combats next. Right, so combat's resolved here. A wound did come through against the Ghost Kill. We failed a save here, so dropped to 7 wounds. We fought back against the Marines here and did kill one of them. So that's that combat's resolved. James piling in a few inches there, what's left of that combat squad. So that is turn 1 finished. Not too bad here from the Ultramarines. So morale, insignificant really, just 1 casualty just there. James rolling up, he's rolled a 1. Okay, so that's fine. So we will now go on to turn 1 for the Tau. What do they do? Ghost Kill is available but damaged. We'll need to act quickly, I reckon. We're below half damage here already on the Storm Surge, so priority will be the Devastator squad for sure, and these 2 Predators. The Dreadnought, not so much of a threat with both of its hunter-killer missiles already used up. But we've got to focus here on these Predators. They can't be allowed to pick off the Tau from extreme range. So we may see Commander Pinpoint. Surely we'll see him make his descent on Tau turn 1 coming up next. Right, so movement done here for the Tau. 12 inches moved here with the Ghost Kill moving across in this direction. He's going to try and go after the Devastators, if possible, to try and shoot at them and silence them as much as possible. Then Breachers sneaking around the hillside here. They're quite well covered out of line of sight. Holding position here with the gun line because we don't want to move with the broadsides, don't want to lose their ballistic skill, and also we don't want to move with the Storm Surge as well. It's just holding position on this turn. A lot of the Fire Warriors in range of different targets anyway. And then around here, Commander Pinpoint has arrived, trying to keep 9 inches away from the Predators. We are going to go after both of them. So Commander Pinpoint landing just here. His 2 drones, which are now a separate unit, just landing there. And then 6 drones here, separate unit now from this Crisis Battlesuit squad, just out of 9 inches from the Predator over there. So An ambush here from the tower. We'll see how successful it can be. Going to try and pick on the heavier firepower of the Ultramarines here. If we can silence the big guns, then the tower may well start to dominate the game. But it's very, very early days to say that yet. We'll see how well the shooting phase goes. So there is no psychic phase. On to shooting phase next for the town turn 1. A lot going on here in the early stage of this battle. So we do plan a rematch of this game, same terrain, same armies. We're going to play it on the Plus channel, which is now available on Vimeo on demand. It's available worldwide. If you want to see part 2 of this, which will be a grudge match, no doubt. Yeah, we definitely want a refight of this one here. If you want to see that refight take place, then check out Vimeo on demand. There'll be a link here in the description page of this video. Right, so going to fire here with Commander Pinpoint. Going to start off with him. So, 2s to hit. They all hit. 3s to wound. Now this is the important roll here. If I roll badly, James will erupt in laughter. Oh, they've all wounded. It is -4 for fusion blasters. So, it's 3d6 damage.
11 wounds, Scott. I was dead.
Oh! How many is that? 17 wounds.
6, it detonates.
Oh, yes, yes. You roll, so get a 6. Oh, it does erupt. How far is that then? 6 inches?
6 inches.
Oh, we're 9 inches away, so we're fine. God, what? He has made his mark here. Boom. Pinpoint accuracy. A pinpoint strike. And the Ultramarines, Sicarius turns to look over his shoulder as one of the beloved predators erupts in a fireball. What has gone on in the woods here? He wonders to himself. But Predator, at least one of them here, has been destroyed utterly. Alright, so we're going to try and follow suit here with the battle suits. Going to fire across here. James, we're going to check cover here. We'll see about this one. He does need to be at least 50% obscured. Yeah, we reckon.
Those 2 are.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll do it that way. So the one without the cover, 4s. Oh, wow. And then the ones that do get the, James will get the cover, they've nearly all missed. Okay, and no rerolls. We're on reroll ones, but no ones rolled. So we need to do this one separately. So 3s to wound. Failed. I'm going to use a reroll, which works. Well done. Then this one. Freeze. They do, right. There is 3d6 wounds coming through. There's trouble. Unless James rolls a 6 here. This is an important roll. No. Are you going to reroll that one?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, right. So 3d6 damage. Oh, we're going to calculate here. It's not quite destroyed. That is 7, 8, 9 wounds. So it has been seriously crippled, but not destroyed. No rerolls available, but serious trouble there for that Predator. No complaints here from the tower. Virtually mission accomplished. Maybe some drones will be able to pick off the last few wounds. Okay, yeah, no, just checking with the drones here. So this one completely can't see the target. These, for the rules, you have to have a clear gap, which they aren't, so maybe didn't deploy those quite right. I'm going to say 2 can see. But James is over 50% obscured as well, so we're going to be on
2+ save.
a 2+ save, yeah. So we'll try and hit first of all, 5s and 6s. So I doubt we're not going to pick off the last wound yet, and no wound coming through. So drones, no help there in trying to bring down the last couple of wounds on that Predator. But it has been smashed up pretty bad. Maybe some other firepower from the tower will be able to finish it off. But we'll go on to the rest of the shooting here for the tower. It's a good start from them, at least on their turn 1. All right, so continuing on with the shooting here, you can see the Predator has been destroyed. This is the Storm Surge firing here. Before we came to that, we did fire the infantry down here. They fired and caused no wounds on this Rhino. Then this broadside firing through caused a wound on the ironclad Dreadnought just here. You can see those green markers. That's marker light hits coming through. The Fireblade got his hit, and then the other marker lights firing through, they caused another 2. So with that, we have declared the destroy missiles, which we're still to roll up for. We've left that till the end. Then the Storm Surge has fired. Cluster rocket systems down here and has destroyed 2 of the Marines. The pulse driver cannon did get 2 hits on 5s to hit, and then James needs 6s to save that, and failed. We did wound, and then 2d6 damage, so that's been wrecked. Didn't explode, but that one's gone. You meant to remove the model from play, but just for cinematics, we've left it on, and there's smoke billowing from that there. If we need to remove it for line of sight and so on, then we'll do that during the game. Then smart missile systems from the Storm Surge fired down here and caused 1 wound. So it's down to 9 wounds there with that Rhino. So we still have the destroyer missiles here. With the Markerlight assistance, it's 2 to hit. They all hit. Each of these is D3 mortal wounds. So there is trouble. There is big trouble here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 7 wounds remaining. Target destroyed here. Destroy missiles living up to their name. That has gone. James is going to roll up here to see if it detonates. Nope. All right, but another heavy vehicle here. God dear, the Tau reaping a heavy toll on the Ultramarines here. So that's painful here. A triple kill here on the heavy weaponry. Victory points being picked up as well. Remember, these two are heavy supports. So trouble there for the Ultramarines. They're losing their heavy firepower here. Painful lessons being learnt as the Tau targets, specific targets. Their target priority has been pretty good here so far. But we'll press some of the rest of their shooting. We do have this broadside to fire and the ghost kill available to shoot as well. All right, so shooting phase finished. Ghost kill. We thought if we fired into here, James might remove the closest models and limit our charge distance. So we fired instead at targets down here. So fusion blasters. 1 hit did come through, it failed to wound against the Rhino. And then the Cyclic Iron Raker reduced this squad down just to the sergeant left. Those white dice there, we're using those as morale trackers, so keeping track of the number of casualties, so remember how many it is for morale. Then more damage coming through against this combat squad. That was fire coming through from the high yield missile pods from the broadside here. Smart missile systems, no damage there against the Rhino. That is shooting done. It's usually quite complicated for the Tau, especially with all the marker lights firing and trying to coordinate the firepower, but it has been resolved now. Ultramarines have taken a heavy blow. Captain Kato Sicarius still in amongst his troops, but hearing detonations take place all across the battlefield. So we'll go on to assaults next for the Tau on turn 1. Alright, so charges have taken place. It did take the risk of charging in. James did fail to get any hits with the laser cannons. So Ghost Kill made it in. No damage from the bolters, and a crack grenade was thrown as well by the sergeant, but nothing coming through. So that charge goes ahead. Alright, so combat's resolved here. We did knock down and kill one of the Marines, going first on the charge, and then James caused 6 wounds in return. Excellent dice rolling, but then rolled up. James frustrated here. He can't kill this thing today. That's the result there. No wounds coming through at all the saves being passed. So Ghost Kill, a nightmare here, tormenting the Ultramarines on this flank, doing his job, distracting the Ultramarine army. Whilst other targets are being picked off by Tau firepower. So looking good here for the Tau. Damage being caused on both sides. It was a good start from the Ultramarines, but Tau have bounced back with a vengeance here. Commander Pinpoint arriving straight away to turn the tide of the game at this early stage. But we've still got a while to go. Remember, it's objective-based, this game. One objective here, up for grabs. Tau could control a number of them. One on the hillside here looks quite secure. One over here in the woods as well. So Tau looking quite good. Where's the other objective? Oh, it's just there in the open. Ultramarines could crowd on that. Remember, there are tactical squads available inside both of these Rhinos. Yes, he does have the Assault Marines available as well. And no doubt, Sicarius and the Lieutenant, they may make their way in this direction to try and take out the Ghost Kill. We'll see. We'll go on to Ultramarines, turn 2 next. All right, so we are on the second turn here for the Ultramarines as James tries to remedy the situation. Difficult task here, heavy firepower cut down, and Tau threats here. And now over here in this corner with Pinpoint's assault, and then the main Tau gun line available as well. Sicarius and his lieutenant and the Chapter Ancient banner just here. Probably the target or the priority will be to get rid of the Ghost Kill, harassing the Ultramarines, and then to make use of the tactical squads, to use them perhaps aggressively, go after objectives and so on as well. Difficult task now here for the Ultramarines. We'll see what James decides to do as he starts his move. Okay, so turn 2 movement here. Not too bad from the Ultramarines, pretty good. James saying he can pull out a combat here with the Ultramarines doctrine and then fire at -1 with those. So he's pulled back and will be able to shoot at the Ghost Kill. They're moving around with Sicarius, the Lieutenant, and the Chapter Ancient as well to assault in combat. So one objective is to remove him from play and then just secure this part of the battlefield. Pocket Free moving up just there in the woods as well. I think James this turn is going to ignore the commander and the battle suits. Their range really is 18, so if James stays away from them, that'll help protect him. He's got the hillside to cover him as well. Rhinos picking up all of their squads, what's left of them, this one here, and they're moving across for a Rhino rush. And then here, 2 full squads inside, these Rhinos moving up. Also, James saying he's not going to bring down the Assault Marines yet. He's going to wait until the tactical squads are ready to shoot and disembark, and then the Assault Marines will come down and assist as well. So he's going after the Tau gun line here aggressively with the troops part of his army. And if he does well, the troops may well be useful for securing the objectives at the end of the game. Remember, they're here, one just over there, then one in the open ground just here. I think it's the right move. He has to be aggressive here against the Tau. He can't let them shoot for one turn after the other. That is movement done. We'll go on to shooting phase next. Okay, so shooting going all right here. 2 Fire Warriors brought down, 1 Breacher brought down. That was Stormbolter firing there. 4 shots a time here from the Rhinos, so they're able to fire quite good as they move along. Then across here, interesting tactics from James. So he has fired the melter gun here on the Lieutenant. That's a really good upgrade to take that. What's his ballistic skill?
2+.
2+. That is excellent.
Ones because of the captain next to him, and rerolls 1s to wound.
James, that is clever. Lieutenant, he looks good, and he is good. And the good thing about the character is he hides behind stuff and just let rip with the weaponry, so that is good. Anyway, he's caused 3 wounds here in total on the Ghost Kill. Got his hit, got his wound, then rolled 2d6 and chose the 3. So that's not too bad. He's going to fire bolters across here, but with the las cannons, he's going to fire the las cannons, yes, across here, the Storm Surge. He is in range. We're going to let him roll up here. 4 shots.
1 at +1 ballistic skill because of the signal.
Okay, so really you're looking at
4s to hit with one of them. Yeah,
and 5s. Alright, so there's a chance here.
So 4s to hit. I reroll 1s because of the captain.
Okay. No, okay. 3 shots. Come on, there's a number of people cheering for you at the screen. He gets 1 hit.
I will spend a stratagem.
He's going to try and reroll for a 5+ here. This is desperate stuff.
Yes.
He gets the 5.
Gain that stratagem.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, look, he's a happy Ultramarine player at the moment. Right, freeze to wound then, please. Yes. They both do go through. No. Right, stratagem on standby here. Matt Hood's here watching the game. He rises to his feet here to watch the crowds on their feet here. 4+. 1 saves. I'm sorry, James. We're going to use a stratagem.
Oh, no.
4+. No, it goes through. D6. You can't re-roll this. 3. Not bad. Not bad. 3 more wounds knocked down. So 8 dropping down to 5 here. So, 3/4 killed there with the Storm Surge. So well done, James. More damage coming through. That was a good effort for sure. So showing a lot of character here in this game. And this Ultramarines force not written off yet. Now, Ghost Kill's still alive, but James has plenty of close combat ability to take them on. He's going to chuck a crack grenade or 2 here to try and finish this thing off. And there's bolters to fire as well. Okay, so shooting done there. James trying to fire a couple of crack grenades here. They failed, and then some bolter shots coming through as well. and no wounds being caused in total. So that is Ultramarine shooting done. Given the circumstances, not too bad. We'll go on to assaults next. So James has a number of units that can charge. The Heroic Lieutenant, Sicarius, Chapter, Ancient as well, and I don't think he's going to want to charge with the Devastators. He'll keep them out of combat and try and... Can't charge anyway. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we'll go on to assaults and charges. Oh, Rhino's going to charge. Wow, okay, so we'll get this resolved here. A lot of Overwatch to resolve. We'll get this organised next. Right, so charges have gone ahead. That was a lot of dice to roll up there, a lot of supporting fire here for the town. It almost paid off. We reduced this Rhino down to just 3 wounds remaining. Tons of firepower from the Fire Warriors. Breaches firing both broadsides and the Storm Surge contributing as well, but it wasn't quite enough to bring the Rhino down. It's just 3 wounds remaining. And across here, no damage taken on Overwatch as it went. This Rhino went in against the breaches, and that's made it into combat as well. James just short of charging here with this Rhino, so it has not charged this turn. Then across here, the Ancient charged in first, took 2 wounds from the Cyclic Iron Raker, but then cleared the path there for Sicarius and the Lieutenant to make it into combat as well. So they made it in. That is charges done. We'll get the combats resolved next for the Ultramarines on their second turn. Right, so we'll start off with Sicarius here. James's commander now gets to make an impact on the game. So 2s to hit, I take it?
Yep, reroll 1s because he's a captain.
Right.
Full hit.
Nice.
Any roll of a 6 is, instead of normal wounds, it's D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. He's pretty good here. Gets his 2 6s. Wow.
3 mortal wounds.
Well, okay, I think we're going to die. Yep, 5 wounds. Ghost kill gone. James very happy about that, I reckon. Kato hacking the ghost kill down in style. Okay, so James just consolidating a few inches. There it has to be towards the nearest enemy unit, which is over there. But mission accomplished, well done to them. We'll get the Rhino combats resolved as well. Okay, so combat's resolved down here. James caused no damage. We actually caused a wound, would you believe, with our 2 units fighting. We did have 12 attacks. Got a 6 to wound, and then James failed to save just there. So dropping to 2 wounds remaining on the Rhino just there, and then no damage exchanged on either side with that combat just there. So the game's definitely still on here. I reckon the tower in the stronger position for sure, but James has accomplished the 2 missions really that he wanted to do. That was to get the Rhinos up here, which he has done, and then across here he has slain the ghost kill in style. So he's accomplished that. He now has a cluster of units and characters available here to move out and try and challenge the objectives, or at least to sit here and provide covering fire for the tactical squads. Remember, there's a good number of Marines still to use, and plenty of Assault Marines available as well. And the Storm Surge just on 5 wounds remaining. It looks a lot on the table, but it is 3/4 dead. So we'll go on to the second turn now for the Tau. They need to continue to do well and not let the Ultramarines try and claw this one back. So we'll go on to their second turn next. Right, so Tau movement done. The Commander and the Crisis Battle Team moving up this valley here, and you'll notice they're quite well hidden from James's Ultramarines just there. So threat moving in here in the form of these battle suits and Commander. They've all done advanced moves. They don't have any targets to shoot at this turn. Then across here as we respond, James's Rhino rush. We're going to do a rush of our own here. Fire Warriors moving up and breaches. All of these squads will be able to shoot. Disengaged with this one, disengaged with that one, and then the Ethereal and the Fireblade moving up in support of their infantry. Holding position here, anchors down now was declared last turn there. That'll help the ballistic skill there with the Storm Surge, and the broadsides holding position as well. Breachers pulling out of combat just here. We reckon we can crack a couple of these transports here, then maybe use the Fire Warriors and Breachers to bring down their contents, but we'll see. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Tau. There'll be nothing over here, but the emphasis will be on this end of the table in this round. Right, so we've been firing the Storm Surge here. Smart Missile System and Flamers have brought down the last wounds there on the Rhino. James didn't explode and is disembarked there with his combat squads. Then we fired the Cluster Rocket System across here and killed 2 of the Marines inside the woods. Just the advanced targeting system really helping out. That minus on the AP, just knocking the armour down of the Marines and their vehicles. Pulse Driver Cannon remains, which we've declared to fire over here. How many shots do we get? 2 shots. We need 5s with anchors down. We are on ballistic skill 6+, but then +1 failed. The reroll not available for the Storm Surger. Storm Surger finished. Not bad. Couple of Marines brought down, transport destroyed. Still got the rest of these units to fire. Right, so with the Ethereal there, going to go on to reroll 1s. We'll see what the broadside, see if they can make an impact here on these Rhinos. A fresh Rhino here. This one's going to fire at it across there. So, forced to hit with the smart missile system. Not bad. 5s to wound. Nothing. Okay, high yield missile pod. Reroll that one. Fails. These are strength 7, so I think 2 wounds have come through. James at -2 on his saves. Passes none of them, needing 5. So 2d3 damage coming through against the Rhino. 3 wounds scored in total against this Rhino here. So we will fire the other one across. Got to try and crack open another one of these transports here. So high yield missile pod. Then it's a good roll that. 4s is good. Devastating. So just the one save to make, 5+. Yes. Which he passes. Smart missile system. Reroll these 3. 5s to wound.
Oh.
Whoa. 4 saves here, 5+. Well done, James. That's 3 saves made. Another wound taken. So drops to 6 wounds there on the Rhino. But they're holding up well. Transports, I do rate them in 8th edition. They're tough. Here, a lot of wounds for the opponent to try and get through. So we'll resolve the infantry now. That's all that's left, really. So we'll fire them through. We've got a choice now. I can fire at these Marines here. Maybe a better target, or try and reduce this Rhino down. We'll see. We'll get that resolved, and that'll be the shooting done here for the Tau on their second turn. Right, so shooting phase finished here. We directed our infantry firepower towards the tactical Marines down here. They were the easier kill, we reckon, so Rhino's not been damaged. Breachers by themselves took out 1 combat squad, a devastating round from them. And then Fire Warriors firing through these 2 squads with the help of the Fireblade and the rerolls of 1s from the Ethereal. James lost 4 Marines from there. He passed a ton of free-up saves. Loads and loads of free-up saves passed. 1 Marine remained with the heavy bolter. We fired the drones through. Remember, the wreck doesn't count for line of sight. They caused 5 wounds in total. James rolled 5 saves of 3+ for the lone Marine standing in defiance just there. So maybe Samurai Swords will be drawn, and the Fire Warriors may well charge in to combat, at least to lock James down. So that is, you can imagine the lone Marine there. The Tau Fire Warriors surging past, and a lone Marine with a heavy bolter just firing into their flank. So really good. But Marines dropping like flies here with under the weight of Tau firepower. But transports remain, 2 of them alive. Remember, there's still 10-man tactical squad inside here, so that's alive still. But Tau trying to maintain their dominance here. They seem to be doing all right. We'll go on to combats next for the Tau. Right, so combats here. Samurai Swords and Honor Blades drawn. The Ethereal, the Fireblade, and the Breachers charge into the lone Marine. James caused a wound against this squad that tried to charge. They failed to make it in, but no wound came through. So those squads have made it into combat. Resolve this combat here. A bit of honour here at stake. A lot of Tau models here, but James's 1 Marine stands defiant. We'll see if he can survive. Right, so the Ethereal here. This honour. See if our Honor Blade can dispatch this resistant Marine here. Freeze to hit. Right, okay. Freeze to wound. Honor Blade is +2 strength, would you believe? And it does wound. If you fail this, that is humiliating.
AP-?
No AP minus, but +2 strength. Oh, power armor holds. Right, okay. We'll see if the Cadre Fireblade, he draws his sword and will now attempt to destroy the Marine. Freeze to hit here for honour. Ah, yes, very good. 5s to wound will find a chink in your armour. Ah, now die. Oh, okay, you're going to reroll. Surely reroll for honour.
For honour.
For honour.
MACRAGGE. On a 5+ to regain that wound. Okay. So I do that now. Yes.
Oh, right, that's his stratagem. Right, okay.
The armour save.
1 or 2, you have no honour. He's rolled a 1. Oh dear, he's gone. That is cool. Oh dear, Fireblade shows you how it's done. Samurai sword drawn, plunges it into the heart of the Marine. No, 2 swords placed at the neck and swished across. The Marine's head rolls onto the floor and the Fire Warriors cry for the greater good. Okay, right, so we've calmed down now. That's combat's resolved and the end of the turn. But that's good there from the Tau. Aggressive there with the gun line moving forward. It seems to have paid off quite well. But now we're going to hand over to the Ultramarines. James has this squad to use, and it's broken down into combat squads, and then he has the unit here as well. What's left inside this transport?
I have a sergeant and a marine and a heavy bolter.
Right, okay, so this, that's limited there. They have taken casualties. And then across here, he's got decisions to make here. They're not holding any objectives. There's quite a lot of values, decent characters. What does James do with these? Does he go after the battle suits? He's nodding his head. He may go after them here. Interesting. Or does he support the attack over here? Decisions to make. We'll go on to the third turn now for the Ultramarines. So on to the third turn here for the Ultramarines. It's been difficult for them since Tau turn 1. It was quite an impact that was made. James lost a number of heavy weapons, or a number of heavy support units there, and that has crippled the army to some degree. So it's been difficult for the Ultramarines, but he's shown character here. He's set himself some straightforward objectives. Slaying the Ghost Kill, achieved that, and then delivering the Rhinos up here has achieved that to some degree, although the Tower have inflicted some damage there as James has advanced. But the game is still on. It's interesting, it's got decisions to make here. The Tau are behind this hillside. Does he go up and after them? Or does he sit for a turn? Maybe try and take out the Storm Surge. These are the decisions he's got to make. Some thinking needs to go on here. If he takes out the Storm Surge,
which I most likely will,
which you could, then there's some chance here that your Marines could cause enough damage against the softer Tau targets. It is difficult, but there is a chance to do it. Characters would have been good up this end of the table, to be honest. They're stuck, though, down here at the moment. They're quite well protected. There's a whole Devastator squad. Just to mention as well, by the way, on the previous turn, the Apothecary successfully resurrected one of the Marines and added that to the Devastator squad just there. So an extra Marine was added. There's morale. It's only one, which you can't fail. Yeah, you can't fail anyway, so that's fine. That was casualties that came through from the cluster rocket system. Okay, so we'll let James make his moves here. We'll see what he decides to do. Right, so on to Ultramarine's third turn. He is going over the crest of the hillside here, so some of these las cannons may well shoot down at the crisis battlesuits just there, so he is heading off in that direction. And then across here, combat squad's disembarking. Lone Sergeant going across here. What's left of the small squad just there. This squad and this squad surrounding the Fire Warriors and Breachers. And then the transports heading back in this direction to try and claim objectives. Interesting here. James's army, a lot more presence on the table once they disembark from their transports. Up here, this objective has been seized by the Assault Marines, and this one's been seized by the other combat squad from the Assault Marines as well. So there's a lot of Marines on the table here. Well, movement's done. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Ultramarines on their third turn. Right, so we're on the shooting phase here. It's going pretty good here for the Ultramarines. 2 mortal wounds caused. James paid stratagem and took Hellfire shells on the heavy bolter. Yeah, it's pretty good. So 2 mortal wounds caused there against the Storm Surge. That's a good result. And then you can see white dice marking casualties coming through. 3 casualties on this squad, 2 here, 1 here, and 3 casualties in total from here as well. It's the Flamers, Combi Flamers doing damage. Bolters, heavy bolters firing through, picking up casualties on most of these Fire Warrior and Breacher squads. That's pretty good there for the Ultramarines. Good ambush taking place from these units. So, what's left to do? We've finished here. James is now declaring his las cannon fire. Right, so all 4 las cannons, James has moved. So when he falls to hit, does have the signum on one of them. He's going to fire across against the Storm Surge. This is his chance to bring this thing down. It's a massive gun platform. If that is killed, that is a lot of firepower reduced for the Tau. And we have used a stratagem, by the way, this round. James, happy about that. We use that to try and protect keep one of the... It was a wound over here. No, it was a save that was required, which we then passed from another shot coming through. I think it was firepower from the Assault Marines firing across. So, go on then. First shot, first of all. One shot needs a 3+. Here, because of the signum, yeah. Does get a hit, this is good. And then falls to hit with the others. Just the one, you are going to... Oh, reroll over one, is it? Because of the captain, right, very good indeed. Very good. And then any stratagems to reroll the last one? No, okay, right, okay. So here we go. It's freeze to wound. This is very good. James, oh no, 2 6s and a 5. Oh boy, right. So, Storm Surge is in massive trouble. 4+. Oh no, 2 4s and a 5. Game-changing dice roll there. Have passed all of them, and it's kept the Storm Surge alive. James was hoping at least one of those shots would get through, but on a very good roll indeed. The Storm Surge, the shield generator, that is so worth taking. It has literally kept that thing alive. It would have been long since dead if it wasn't for that shield generator protecting the Storm Surge. So good result there. James has a few bolter rounds and so on to fire in this direction against the crisis suits, and that's the shooting phase finished. Right, so shooting taking place around from Cato's pistol there, causing a wound. We didn't use a drone to protect that. It's just been absorbed there on to one of the crisis battle suits. Frag round from a grenade, bolter shot coming through, no other damage. So that is it. We'll go on to assaults now. I reckon James will try and assault here, perhaps with the Lieutenant and Cato. Maybe the Devastators, will see what he decides to do with them. And then across here, yes, squads may well charge in here against the Fire Warrior teams. And you may well charge in here as well with the Assault Marines. So expect a fair amount of charges to take place here. We'll get combats... we'll get charge distances rolled up. Overwatch resolved. It's going to take quite a while with the Tau supporting fire special rule. But we'll get this organised here and see how many units make it into combat. Okay, so charges have gone off and Overwatch resolved. It's gone well for the Ultramarines here. They have done well. No Marines brought down here by the Storm Surge. That's been contacted with its anchors down, so not get to fight back in combat. James will get a free hack at them. And then here, charging down the hillside and ahead, and from every side, Ultramarines plunging into the Fire Warriors here. And I don't think we did any damage on Overwatch here at all. I'm just looking to see if we did. Pretty much nothing. Sergeant down here did die. Breachers brought him down as he tried to do a lone charge against the 2 remaining breachers just there. It's just Fire Warriors able to lend support here. These are too far away, the broadsides, to lend any kind of Overwatch for their Tau brethren. So it's gone well down here. We'll see how much damage James can do. And then across here it's gone well as well. 2 Space Marines, regular Devastator Marines, killed by Fusion Blaster hits on Overwatch. Drones fired in support but no damage, and then that squad charged first, and then the Lieutenant has made it in. James rolled an 11 for him. He's made it into combat as well. Cato Sakaris didn't roll high enough, but that's pretty good results here. Space Marines charging in against the Tau, being aggressive against them and keeping themselves in the fight. Definitely still in the fight here. A lot of Space Marines on the table. We'll get these combats resolved next. Alright, so combat's resolved here. 2 fouled saves. We put that onto drones there with those attacks coming through. A power sword hit came through from the Lieutenant and then damage from the Marines as well. But we put that through onto the regular drones. So they've taken 2 casualties and have used their saviour protocols to protect the crisis battle suits. Then across here, casualties mounting for the Tau gun line here. No damage at all against the Marines, and then each squad really taking 1 or 2 casualties each. You can see the white dice marking up total amount of casualties just for morale for us to check. 4 in total on here, 3 in total, 1, 4 there, 3 down here from shooting earlier on. So the Tau gun line being thinned here and not really striking back very hard at all. That is combats resolved. We'll get morale organised now. We'll see if any of these Tau units melt away in fear. Alright, so morale resolved here, no problem at this side. Bit of trouble for the Tau, one of the squads failing. A breacher gone from this squad, the others are all okay. It's the Ethereal helping them out, using his leadership of a 9 has really helped them. They would have melted away, I reckon. Otherwise, across here, fouled very badly, rolled a 6, used the stratagem to reroll the dice and passed. This breacher team is okay, so that's morale resolved. That is the 3rd turn finished. It has gone well for the Ultramarines. They have done well indeed. They've taken on the Tau gun line here and seem to be doing quite well. But Tau do have firepower available here in these broadsides, and this thing here can walk away and shoot. So Tau might be able to strike back here, but we'll see what happens. We'll go on to their third turn next. Alright, so moving for the Tau here. Drones holding position and then jumping out of combat there with the Crisis battle suits. They will be able to shoot. Commander moving up 8 inches with the drones as well, firing down in this direction. James's lieutenant is closer to him, so Pinpoint may try and pick him out. And then around here, the Fire Warriors pulling away from combat, so all of these won't be able to shoot, but they have pulled out of combat, and then this unit here is available and has moved across here and ready to shoot. These holding position, getting ready to fire, and then pulling out a couple of inches from combat with the Storm Surge. He'll be able to fire as well. So Tau do have shooting options left. We'll let them strike back now. We'll go on to their third round of shooting next. Okay, so we're on shooting here. Just to mention James's apothecary. What did he do? He restored the wounds here on the Ancient. That was on the last turn. So he's redeeming himself quite well. Okay, so we're on to Tau shooting here. So none of those can fire. I have fired already a marker light and got a 6. That's at that squad. And then the rest of this squad here is going to go after that combat squad. So 15 shots. Rerolling 1s here is the Ethereal's power this turn. Should reroll this 1. And fail. No, it's 4s, isn't it? Yeah, it's 4s to hit. So not bad. Freeze to wound though. Yes, 5 saves required. Every Marine brought down will be important here for the Tau. So 3 pluses. Just the 1. He's rolling well for his power armor. So that's this squad here. Loses a Marine. And then with the marker light hit on here, we will now use this broadside to try and bring them down. So smart missile system. So forced to hit with the smart missile system. Rerolling 1s. It's going to be helpful. Couple more hits. We freeze to wound. 2 saves of 4+. It is AP -1. James fails 1, so 1 assault marine gone. Another one of those. And now it's time for the high yield missile pod. 4s. Reroll. Couple of hits there. That reroll helping. That is good. It's almost 2s to him. It's not quite. It's freeze to wound. They all wound. Now this is -2, so 5s and 6s. This squad could be destroyed if James fails. There's 6 here to roll up for. Then 5s and 6s. Oh, he's kept 1 alive. All right, but one of them remains. It'll be the sergeant, no doubt. But the rest have been brought down. Right, so then this one here, high yield missile pods are going to the 2 Marines. Smart missile system is going to go into this Marine here. Remember, this doesn't block line of sight. So, smart missile system, trying to take out the sergeant. The lone sergeant that's left from the combat squad. Freeze to wound. 2 wounds. 2 saves of 4+ here, otherwise the sergeant is brought down. No, he's gone. James thinking about a reroll, perhaps, to try and keep the lone sergeant alive.
50-50.
Yeah, he's not so sure. This is difficult. Right, he says no, sergeant is dead. Right, okay. High yield missile pod now. 4s, rerolling 1s. Just the 2 hits. Just the 1 wound. 5+ to save. Yes, he does. Right, no damage on those 2 Marines. One of them is a heavy bolter. So that's him done. There's drones to fire here. They'll be able to lend some fire support. We still have the Storm Surge to fire as well. And also the Fireblade as well. He is available to shoot. Okay, so he has fired. He tried to fire a marker light across here to this Rhino and missed on 2 because it did move. It's a heavy weapon. And the drones have fired and caused no damage. 1 unit firing there, 1 unit firing at this combat squad. But no more damage coming through. So not as many Marines brought down there. They are doing better in this firefight here at very close range. Breachers, actually. 4 shots, needing 5s because we made an assault move. And that is it. They are done. So, Storm Surge. Now, thinking about what to fire at. Okay, so shooting's all declared, so James is aware of what's going on. Pulse driver cannon is going to go across to this Rhino. D3 shots, 2 shots. Anchors are not down, so we actually need 6s to hit. Nope. It's not so good here. The Flamer's alright. Flamer's down there. 2d6 hits on that Sergeant. He's taken 7 automatic hits. Falls to... Oh dear. Dear oh dear, he's taken 6 wounds here. He almost survived, but no, he's been toasted. He's gone. Cluster rocket system we declared into there, and the smart missile system, or 2 smart missile systems as well. So cluster rocket system. It's a nice lot of hits coming through. That's 15 shots coming through. Just there. Then we'll add the smart missile system because it's going to be strength 5, AP -1. It'll be the same. Yeah, we'll do the smart missile system separate. James is in that terrain, so he's on +1 to his armor save. So we'll do cluster rocket system first of all. So 6s.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's just the 1. Does wound. It's +1 to his cover save, -1 AP, so 3+. No, so 1 Marine brought down. 6 is here with a smart missile system. Just the 1. Freeze to wound, nothing. So Tau firepower, yeah, not that devastating this turn. That's pretty good. We'll see how they fare across the other side of the table. So the game's sort of split into 2 battles now. There's this fight, the Tau gun line, and then the continued resistance here, and fighting between these 2 parts of the armies here. It's like a mini fight going on over here as well. So actually it's the elites and the HQs, the commanders battling out over here, and then they've left the bulk of their force to fight it out across this side of the table, and the whole battle really is over this downed Aquila. So it's broken into 2 fights here. What do you reckon, James? Even-ish over here, not bad really. Tau, a lot of heavy firepower still alive though, and then across here we'll see. We'll just have to resolve the shooting, see how well the Tau do against this Devastator squad. If those las cannons are destroyed, that could hurt the Ultramarines. Right, so first things first, the commander's going to try and pick out the lieutenant. Commander Pinpoint, fire all of the weapons at him. Triple 1. That is weird. We paid 2 points for a multi-tracker, so we re-roll them and get 2 hits. Dear me, just triple 1. It's 2s to wound. Okay, I've got 1 command point left. Now we'll use it. Okay, so I'm going to reroll it. We do. So the 2 go. I've got no command points left. Just remove that one. Just keeping track of them. So it's -4s. Do you have any invuln save?
No.
You don't. How many wounds do you have?
He has 4 wounds.
4 wounds. He's taken 8. Ouch.
Yeah, he's gone.
That's not going to encourage them seeing a lieutenant blown to red mist.
Melted.
Melted. That's nasty. All right, cut clean in 2 there by Commander Pinpoint's fusion blasters. So in that case, we'll fire the regular squad into them. So they're going to be hit by more fusion blasters here. 6 shots, re-rolling 1s. 4s. Half of hit. 2s to wound. SAP -4, so that's 2 gone. 2 more brought down. James will have to choose him, and now it's either a sergeant or a las cannon. Sergeant's gone, it's painful. That is painful. Let's see if the drones now can cause some more casualties. So just going to fight all the drones at them. That's a lot of shots. They get 4 shots each now, but they do need 5s to get hits, which was not very good, no. Freeze to win, though. Yeah, 4 saves. Every casualty is going to hurt here. He's taken 1. Wow, 3 las cannons remain alive. 1 of them has been removed. A stratagem here.
5+ I regain the stratagem. Nope.
It's gone. And you're going to re-roll the... Right, so re-roll the dice. Okay. 3+. Yep. Oh, well done, James. 4 las cannons still alive. All right, so that shooting phase done. Some casualties coming through, but the las cannons, crucially, remain alive for the Devastators. So shooting phase finished. I reckon across the board. We'll now go on to assaults next. All right, so drones have gone in, just trying to silence James's las cannons, but that may not happen because of his doctrine. It's pretty good. He'll be able to fall back and shoot, although at a reduced rate. So I reckon it was worth doing, but... No, they're quite flexible, those tactical squads. They're not bad at all. Right, so we'll get combats resolved now. That's the only charge that's taken place. The Tau just take a breather here and await the Ultramarines to shoot and possibly charge again. It's difficult. All right, so we'll go on to combats. We'll get these resolved next. Right, so combat's resolved there. We lost a drone, and that is it. And there's no other combats across the board. So that is turn 3 finished for the tower. They're not as ahead as they were, that's for sure. Ultramarine is still in this fight, taking the fight to them here against the gun line, and then across the other side, the laser cannon team desperately hanging on. Well, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Kato Sicarius now is some distance away. The lieutenant's been pulverised, so we'll have to see what James decides to do, whether he sends more of his HQs across the hill or not. Interesting. We'll see what happens next. Turn 4 coming up next for the Ultramarines as they desperately struggle to regain the upper hand in this game. Remember, it pivots on objectives, which Ultramarines hold more. They're holding this one, and they're holding the one over here. So as it currently stands, Ultramarines are winning, tactically speaking. We'll see what happens next. Turn 4 for them coming up now. All right, so movement done here. Interesting move on James's 4th turn. He's trying to buy himself time to see the game through to the later turns, to then try and hold on to these objectives. So moving the runner across, he has done an advance move as well. And according to the rules, he just then had to get his models within 3 inches of it to embark. After it had moved, he managed to get them all in, falling back from combat here. And then Sicarius, the Apothecary, the Banner, have all got inside the Rhino here. So it is a sitting duck, but James, knowing that it will protect at least those men inside from the nasty firepower from here. That's the idea. And across here, holding position with these, a little bit of movement with the bolters, but heavy bolters staying still, getting ready to fire into the fire warriors and potentially charge them again for a second time. Rhino holding position here on the objective. Assault Marines do come down from the hill away from the objective there to charge into the Storm Surge yet again. So that's movement done. We'll get shooting phase resolved next. Okay, so shooting phase resolved. Storm Bolters claimed another one of the breachers. Firing down here. Took out the last breacher as well. This squad here gone. There's just those 3 left. Casualty taken on the squad just there. Just one of those left now. So you can imagine that the heaps of bodies here piling up as these fire warriors are being brought down, and then the Ethereal and the Fireblade trying to encourage them to hold their ground and fight on. It's deadly stuff here. Marines tough to bring down with Tau small arms fire. Across here, no damage done. James did try to fire Hellfire shells to get those mortal wounds. The stratagem went off, but failed to hit crucially, and he's used up all of his command points now, so no rerolls available, tragically. So that is shooting phase done. Rhino across the other side couldn't shoot, so we're going to assaults next. Tau looking a bit thin on the ground here. The infantry been hacked down here. Well, not hacked down, but been bolted down by the Marines. It's good work from them. Tactical squads have got stuck in, and they've done well. They can get close. Really not much fear about combat, so you can get close and shoot without much fear of any combat in return. We'll go on to Overwatch and charges next. All right, so combat's here. It started off well for the Ultramarines. The Breacher was charged here by the Rhino. Didn't expect that one. Then across here, combat squads charging in. One combat squad has reached the Ethereals. James can fight against him. Another squad's swamped the last 3 fire warriors from that squad there. What's going well, but supporting fire. James elected to charge this 4-man combat squad across here against this squad. They fired, and then it caused supporting fire to come in from the drones here. That's 8 shots each, and then 16 shots each from these broadsides as well. It was enough to destroy that combat squad. They were brought down by the weight of firepower. And then James charging with the assault squad. He was hit by double flamers coming through, loads of wounds there. Cluster rocket system, smart missile system as well, causing too many wounds and casualties. The assault marines were destroyed. Also, that's quite a significant result there. The manpower being cut down to just 6 left. That's not too healthy. We'll get these combats resolved down here and then down here as well, but it seems to be tipping back in the favour of the tower at the moment after that devastating result there on Overwatch. Alright, so combat's resolved here. 1 Marine brought down, the Ethereal fighting back with the Honour Blade there at strength 5, and James failed to save, so 1 Marine brought down. Morale's been resolved as well, it's all fine. Across here, actually needs to do morale for him. 2, he'll be fine. Breacher survived the combat, didn't do any damage to the Rhino. And then across here, no damage on either side for James's combat squad versus the strike team. So combat's resolved. Both sides Well, I was going to say both sides looking thin on the ground. If you look at it for the Tau, their high value units, the Storm Surge, the broadsides, and across here, the Commander and his team are all alive. And really what's been destroyed for the Tau is the cannon fodder, it's the infantry. The Ghost Skill's been killed as well, but really the main Tau assets still live, as opposed to the Ultramarines. They've lost a lot of their good stuff. Dreadnought gone, heavy firepower gone as well. So looking healthier for the Tau. Yes, James just reminded me he's still got his HQs alive and well, for now at least, inside the Rhino. But we'll go on to the Tau fourth turn next. They've weathered the storm quite well, chance for them to surge back once again. Right, so Tau movement done. Holding position here, here, and here. Fire Warriors moving up, pulling out of combat with the others and the Ethereal. Then across here, pulling out of combat and moving 6 inches towards the objective here with the Breacher. And then the Crisis teams leaping across with the Commander as well, just to lay firepower across in this direction, then start to make a move on this central objective here on the crashed Aquila. We'll go on to shooting phase next. Alright, so shooting phase resolved here. A couple of the Devastators brought down. That was firepower coming in from the Storm Surge. James has been remembering to roll on his chapter Ancient, called Company Ancient banner. 4+ he gets to shoot or fight again, but failing both times with those 2 lascannons. Would love to have got a free shot off against the Storm Surge there, but it hasn't happened. So drones bringing a couple down, and then the actual destruction of the Rhino. That came, a lot of damage came through, reducing it down to just 1 wound remaining. That was from this squad, and then Commander Pinpoint finishing it off. And the drones there causing some damage against the Devastators. So it's gone quite well there for the Tau. And across here, we've wiped out the Marines. That was overwhelming firepower coming through from the strike team, and then also both of these broadsides as well. So in the end, Tau firepower was too much for the Marines down here. A wound caused here by this Breacher, also getting a shot in from behind against the Rhino. So looking kind of desperate now for the Ultramarines. Difficult situation for them, but they have done exceptionally well in this game. But Tau, it was just that original. Yes, here the 4-up invuln really did help the Storm Surge there. We'll go on to assaults. I don't think there's any. No. So that's the turn finished. All right, so we'll go on to the 5th turn, possibly final turn now for the Ultramarines. Right, so turn 5 movement finished here. Would you believe this fight's still on? Because James has moved out here for combat, and if he can deal with all of these and control this end of the board, then it's not too bad, because he's on an objective here. This Rhino's moved. Then across here, the banner's moved out. He has done an advanced move there with the Apothecary, who has then rolled a 4+ and resurrected one of the lascannon team members, so good for him. And then Cato Sakaris moving out as well, seeking revenge for the slain lieutenant. That's movement done. Here for the Ultramarines, we'll go on to the shooting phase next. Right, so shooting phase, no damage here, but las cannons, it's going to be a hatred shot coming across here against the Storm Surge. James would love to bring it down, even if he loses the battle. What pride there'll be if he can finally destroy it. So Signum first, all separate?
No, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead, right, sorry. So what are you on here, 4s?
4s, rerolling 1s because of Cato.
Okay. Horrendous dice roll, but Cato, oh, good for you. He has honour.
On MACRAGGE.
Freeze to wound. Oh, no. Lieutenant? Oh, Lieutenant's dead. Lieutenant's dead. He would have got to reroll those devastating dice rolls there at the end. Frustrating here for the Ultramarines. And that is it. Shooting phase done. We'll go on to assaults next, and we'll get the Overwatch result. All right, so combat's going ahead here. 2 lascannons brought down. That was drones there, and supporting fire from those drones. James failing a couple of saves, so just 1 lascannon left. Company Ancient has made it into combat. Apothecary couldn't charge. And then Cato, not hit by any of the fusion blasters from this squad, and also from the Commander Pinpoint. So he's made it into combat against them. We'll get combats resolved next. Okay, so combat's resolved here. Drones gone, and then James piling into the combat, and then no damage exchanged either side there. Cato just not wounding there with his sword. So combat's resolved. That is it. That is the end of turn 5. We'll let the Tau have a go now. Remember, their battle suits can withdraw from combat and shoot. That'll be crucial as they try and bring down the last of Ultramarine resistance on this flank. We'll go on to Tau turn 5 next. Right, so moving down for the Tau here, Commander Pinpoint leaps up on top of the rocks here, ready to fire down at Cato Sicarius. Squad here, pulling back out at combat, ready to fire as well, keeping Cato as the closest model. Going to try and prioritise taking on him. Drones manoeuvring to fire as well. And then across here, Fire Warriors moving out. Breacher now contesting this objective. And then drones moving out as well, holding this objective now, shifting 6 inches across in that direction, and then across here, holding position with these 2 broadsides. So, movement done. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Tau on turn 5. Okay, so it has to be done. Going to try and take out Cato Sicarius here. It's red mist time. Reroll. He'll hit. Toughness?
4.
2's to end. What's your invuln save? 4+?
Yeah, it's got an Iron Halo.
Okay, so Iron Halo, do you hold? It does. Hold of 2. D6, 2d6, choose the best, doesn't it? Yes, okay, we choose the 5. Does that put him in trouble?
I think he could be slain.
Ouch, we'll check here. I reckon he must be alive, he must have 6 wounds. Alright, so you can remove him. Ouch, another character vaporised by Commander Pinpoint. Oh dear, right, okay, so the other squad then will fire. One team member will fire at the las cannon, the other 2 will fire at the chapter. No, we've got to get this right here. Hang on a second. We can't choose like that because he's a character. We'll fire the drones first, try and take out the las cannon man. I think would be the best option. So, 2 hits there with the drones, 3's to wound, 1 wound. Power armor save, please, of 3+. It holds, right, decisions to make now. Yeah, it's the foul with the drones there. I'm just going to have to target the las cannon. He is the closest model, so he's going to get 6 fusion blasters fired. Oh my goodness. 6 hits.
Kill.
5. Talk about overkill. Dear me. Right, so he's gone. Just the ancient left. Probably have a couple of holes in his blessed banner, I'd imagine, by now. Dear me. Right, so fusion blasters. Dear, horrid weaponry. They're just vaporising the Ultramarines here. The Apothecary hearing their screams over the intercom. He doesn't even need to hear it. He can see it all taking place. In fact, there's so much red spray everywhere, these being vaporised, that the Apothecary's armour's turned a pink shade.
Why are you so graphic? Oh.
Right, so that's him. And he's probably looked and said, right, I can't extract the gene seed from that. Right, sorry. All right, so we've calmed down now again after that eruption. So we've still got... Yeah, the target here is this Rhino now. See if the Tau can eliminate him. There'll be big trouble if that's destroyed. It's got 9 wounds left, though. Plenty of Tau units to fire at it, but we'll see what happens. We'll get this shooting resolved. Right, so shooting's taken place here. We've resolved the rest. Rhino's reduced down now to 2 wounds remaining. That was some pretty deadly firepower coming in from the broadsides just here. Pretty good from them. Volley fire coming through here as well from these. Fire Warriors end up here as well. Drones firing through, all contributing, but really most of the damage, and the breacher here, but most of the damage definitely coming from the broadsides. We had to fire at closest target then. Not closest target, we couldn't pick out these characters wanted to with the Storm Soldier, but couldn't. So everything had to fire down here. No damage at all. Needing 6s to hit. So just shows that when the damage comes through against this thing, it suffers with its ballistic skill. And that really has hampered its firepower in this game. But really all that's left is a damaged Rhino, a critically damaged Rhino, the banner and the Apothecary just there. We'll go on to combats next here for the Tau. Okay, so Assault, Seer tried to charge these, didn't roll far enough, no damage from Overwatch. Across here, no damage from Overwatch, they've made it in, drones have made it into there against the Apothecary, and then Commander Pinpoint tried to charge the Apothecary and didn't roll far enough. So we'll resolve these combats now. Right, so combat's resolved here. No damage exchanged anywhere in these combats. So that is... Oh, no, sorry. You took a wound, didn't you, on the Ancient?
Yeah.
Us charging in, yeah. We went first and caused a wound, but he's got 3 wounds left. So that is the 5th turn finished. Here, Tau definitely dominating the battlefield at the moment. Right, so we'll roll up here to see if the game continues. Let James roll up on his special dice, and he has rolled a 2. Right, so game has finished there. Perhaps a sigh of relief here from James. James was saying he was preparing to concede anyway.
Yeah.
It was just too much for the Ultramarines in the end. Lessons learnt? Definitely. I mean, you're going to go into the next game with a lot of battlefield experience here, for sure. You may be able to protect yourself a bit better against the Tau ambush. Those tanks were caught out a bit on the open, or in the open. So lesson learnt there for sure. But the Ultramarine force shows toughness there. It took a lot of effort for the Tau to try and reduce them down. A lot of Space Marines that James has in this force. It says he hates the Storm Surge.
4 saves of the 4 invuns.
The invun save. He hates the invun save, the shield generator there on the Storm Surge, which is true. If that upgrade wasn't there, it would have been dead. And that may well have changed the game. So worthy upgrade to take. 40 points well spent. So game finished. I don't think James could have won now really anyway, just because the Tau have just edged ahead with points.
You're going over there and taking objective number 1.
Yes.
Shoot me up, won't you?
Yeah, that's right. No, I don't think it's really possible. And then Kato's been vaporized as well, apparently. That's the story goes, but we'll see if he comes back. So no, there's an apocrypha, isn't there? So he can patch everyone up again.
Yeah.
So for the next game, okay. So we'll get some scores here then. So Linebreaker, yes, for the Tau. Points scored there. Slay the Warlord, definitely. So that's 2 points. 1, 2, 3 heavies killed as well. That's 5 points. And then 6, 7, 8 for holding this objective. So 8 points for the Tau in the end. This objective's contested, 1 model each, holding that one. Tau can't call upon objective secured yet. James did get first blood. So a point picked up there. And none of the heavies were killed. Look, drones here still alive. And the broadsides as well. So 8-1 the final score. It is a convincing win for the Tau. But James's force, it is a decent army. And I reckon, with a bit of battlefield experience, he'll come back stronger in the next game. So good game. The terrain and the scenario, really like the Aquila here. It's club terrain here at SSWG, recently painted up. So great job from them. I have set up a Patreon page for the club. It's exclusively for them. Club's run by volunteers. They're always painting up terrain and we can use it in these games. So if you like what you see and you want to support the local gaming community or this specific club here, then check out the Patreon page. The link for that is on the channel homepage, and anything you give will be gratefully received by the club. It's all going to go to them. It'll help fund projects like this. Just adds great variety to the games. The hillsides as well, club terrain here at SSWG. And if you're in the area, feel free to come down and join in some of the games as well. All different gaming systems played here at the club. So we will play part 2. It's going to be a rematch. We're going to keep the terrain here. We're going to revisit this terrain. Tau will take on the Ultramarines. I think James is going to keep his list the same. We'll see. He may change it. That second game will be over on the Plus channel, which has moved location now, just with YouTube closing down on-demand channels. So it's moved over to Vimeo on demand. Link there in the description. If you want to see that part, then you can check that out on the demand channel there. Striking Scorpion 82 Plus is still up and running. It's just over on Vimeo on demand. Once you sign up, you get access to all of the exclusive videos, loads of battle reports and painting tutorials and so on that channel. But there it is. Great battle here. Really enjoyed it. Nice terrain here. No, it's been a good game. James says he's really enjoyed it. A lot of experience here for both sides. We'll see what happens in the next game. But there it is. Thanks for watching. Keep a look out for more battle reports here on the regular channel. And tune in next time. Right, so talking about units of the game here, James is going to give it to the Devastators. They did do well. Those laser cannons were dangerous for the tower for sure, almost destroying the Storm Surge. And then for the tower, I'm going to... Well, Storm Surge did okay. It survived. I wouldn't say its firepower was utterly devastating, but someone's firepower was devastating. That was Commander Pinpoint. As soon as he arrived... Oh, James hates him, right, okay. As soon as he arrived, he caused trouble. He's been rearmed. And he has proved very dangerous in this game. So took the fight to the Ultramarines there, taking out key assets and really helping out the tower force at the other end of the table. But that's units of the game for both sides.